What do you get if you put a Korean boy band like BTS and put them in a fursuit? Well, you can get these cute guys. G'day folks, of the internet, this is Must here. Subscribe to Argonian here on YouTube, Bruzo Dragonius, the online ambassador of Black Marsh. I know for sure that, yes, I know I've got my human hands with me already, even though that I couldn't even find my my hand gloves or anything, but it's been a while since I just made a video and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, I know for sure that, yes, I've been just, some of my videos can be a bit political and all that kind of stuff, or it could be like random and all that kind of stuff, but I just sort of decided to do one about a thing that's really some sort of positive thing that the furry fandom has to offer. And with this sort of positive thing, this sort of thing that I sort of discovered, and that plus many of the majority of the furry fandom discovered through TikTok or YouTube or even on Twitter, that there is a certain K-pop group out there, a very new K-pop group that's just been out, you know, and yes, you probably would thinking, well, and I know for a fact that I'm not really much of a fan of K-pop or any other pop, you know, in general. With me, I'm more of a metalhead, you know, like with the bands, like, I'm more into bands that are more into metal, because I really do like the real instruments, and that's being, you know, I just find that metal to be more related, more up my alley, you know. Hence, this basically is the design. This is the reason why with the corpse paint of Bruzo and all that kind of stuff. So you probably would already know. But to me, I kind of find K-pop or some pop music to be a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, because most of those pop songs are very much earworms, they're very catchy. You know, there's some pop songs out there that you just can't get out of your freaking heads, you know. It's very catchy, you know. And that's the reason why that pop music is very much successful, because of those songs, you know. It has nothing to do with the ability that a person can actually sing, even though that most of pop music is basically autotune, whether that they play their instruments. But I know for sure that to make it in pop music, I sort of believe, is you gotta look good, look more dreaming and absolutely attractive to girls, because that's just basically the gender that pop music is and marketed to, and you got to be able to move and dance and all that kind of stuff, and that is no different to K-pop. You see, many of us millennials have been introduced to K-pop ever since Psycho got into mainstream with Gangnam Style. That's just basically our introduction into K-pop here in the Western world. Even though that nowadays, with the young kids and that, they ended up getting into K-pop through this collaboration that Bruno Mars did with a member of Blackpink called Rose. That is a song that's basically, mind you, about a drinking game, a South Korean drinking game called APT, or Apartment. You know, I probably will explain about what's been going on about it in another video or whatever, you know, just in requests and all that kind of stuff. And then there's people that got into K-pop, this amazing show that's right now on Netflix, even though that at first I thought it's something of a cash grab that Netflix have done, because even though that at first I would have thought it's really ridiculous of how a K-pop idol group that fuss demons, but the main baddies, or they're just fighting that one of the K-pop group is like K-pop group versus K-pop group, and one of the K-pop group is a group of demons. You know, that's what basically what K-pop Demon Hunters is about. You know, even though that I do get the humor, I really do. The story is really interesting and it's really, really funny. You know, especially with the shenanigans that Hunting, which is the Demon Hunters, like some of the antics and that, and their rivalry with the boy band, a demon boy band called the Sergeant Boys. It's really worth watching. You know, if you had the chance, you know, go check it out. It's really, really good. You know, it's really amazing, and it's very well mainstream, especially with when it's started pop by the Sergeant Boys and Golden by Huntress. But you see, there's a point to all this talking about K-pop, because recently there's been a K-pop group that's been viral. That's becoming a huge part of the furry fandom. That's been discovered throughout. He's just branching out, and that they're just making a huge impact on TikTok, YouTube, and basically all the social medias and that, and now in your streaming services for if you've got Spotify or Apple Music. There's a group of a furry. There's a K-pop boy band out there where every single member of that group is performing in fursuit. But not just any fursuits, but kimono fursuits. And they are an actual legit K-pop boy band, by the way. They call themselves, I think, is it Bastille, or Basties. To be honest with you, I couldn't pronounce the name or something like that. Is it Basttie? You know, you can just comment down if I end up pronouncing that name. But you see, with Basttie and that, they are sort of like a boy band. It's just basically BTS in kimono fursuit. With their songs and all that kind of stuff, like, tend to listen to the music and all that. Listen to one song. They've got one song that's out. I think it's My Way, or yeah, I'll just probably put it down there in the you know, it's one of their. They are so far a one-hit wonder band. You know, where they have like so far 2 versions of it, or actually 3 versions, including the instrumental that's playing as the background music. But they also have the song in both Korean or Japanese. And I tend to like these guys because they are absolutely adorable. I mean, honestly, with some of the first, like, if I end up meeting these guys, like, they are so freaking adorable that I would love to have a plushie of each member of Bastille. But the thing about it is that they're not just of the one species like Man with a Mission. Just think of them as Heavysaurus, but more of a K-pop version or pop version of Heavysaurus. And not all of them are dinosaurs. Apparently, the head of the group, the lead singer of the group, if you, I don't know the name of the lead singer of boy bands or something like that, but I probably would see the lead. The lead singer of the group is apparently, from what I've seen, is a dragon. And then you got the rapper of the group. There's a bunny, and then I believe that you have a fennec fox, tiger. At first, there's another member of the group that I at first thought that it's a monarchy because of the fish-like tail and the fin. But I had sort of looked into their wiki, and apparently that fish shooter is supposed to be an orca. And I'm trying to like learn these guys and all that kind of stuff, you know. I wanted to see how they're going to like see what, how are they going to progress and like see more of their stuff, you know? Because as far as I know, I mean, if I were to think Heavysaurus, you know, Heavysaurus is more of a kid introduction into heavy metal music and all that kind of stuff back over in Europe. But with Basttie, I don't know if the demographic would be like furries, you know, most likely furries. I don't know if they could also aim to be like a kids group or something like that. But I probably would see them as a demographic, you know, if not just for furries, but also as a kids group, because you probably would see that like the demographic of a band with fursuits, with animal costumes, you probably would think, you know, would be have a demographic aimed towards kids. I would honestly would love to have them have a toy line coming out of these 5 guys. I think that would be great. I think that I would love to see them getting a toy line. And the thing about it is that that they do have a bit of a name that they end up calling their fans. Apparently, the fans of these 5 cuties are apparently called, get this, baddies, right? Baddies. But it's not like, they don't really mean baddies as in villains and all that kind of stuff, or terrorists, or, you know, or even the sort of, like in action movies, I should say, or whatever, or the protagonist, but baddies as in the name of their fan group or their fans, which I think is a really cute name to, you know, call your fan base, to be honest. You know, it's just kind of like how this Slipknot, it's like where Slipknot, they call their fans, that, which I am, maggots. Of course I'm a maggot because I'm a fan of Slipknot. I think that I'm also becoming to be converted to a baddie because I really adore the characters that is a part of, that makes up the entire K-pop boy band. So I wanted to see what they're going to end up doing in the future or something like that. Whether it's going to, I don't know, if they would decide to put out more songs, maybe that they would, I don't know, if they would have like if they end up bringing out merch, like if they probably would have Labubu's or even comics or even plushies, because, you know, who would, like, honestly, why wouldn't you turn down just for a plushie of these guys? I mean, it'll be really marketable and all that kind of stuff. So, what are your thoughts about this group? Like, with me talking about it, did I end up making you wanting to check them out for yourself and that? Like with their work and all that kind of stuff, you know, with their song, even though they're playing right there in the background. What do you think of them? You know, what do you think of them? And are you like me that are you like me that you would find that there's some K-pop boy band that you absolutely love and support? You know, just comment down below. Also, I know for sure that I'm just reading on and all that kind of stuff. If you do enjoy this video, make sure you show me by getting a thumbs up about, thumbs up. Also, if you do want to support me and follow me on my social medias, as well as Bastie's social medias and all that kind of stuff. Both of them is on the description down below. Also, if you really do like my content so far, make sure you consider subscribing to this channel, as I love you if you do, and I'll be forever grateful. And if you want to be the first person to know all you need to do is just boot that bell icon and turn notifications on. Also, I don't know. I just done the social medias and all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's one. If you wanted to bring me on PSN, my gamer tag is on Bruzo21. If you wanted to meet me in Tamriel or game with me in that time, you know. Sometimes I usually go on Rocket League, and anyway, just to see if you wanted to make it this far, maybe I'll just chuck anonymous and be like anonymous and say, I don't know, maybe if you watch it to the end, maybe tell me what's your favorite K-pop group, or if you don't have a K-pop group, then what's your favorite boy band in general? I would like to know, you know. I just read the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching these. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel if you did. And as always, may the Hits guide you all. Bye for now.
Are you ready? Hey, we are the baddest.